Congratulations to all of them. Well deserved. Kevin Glenn to work. That man tipped at the line. And incomplete, intended for Armstrong, the most dangerous receiver in the first half.
Well, he looks like to start this second half defensively, the Hamilton Tiger Cats will force Kevin Glenn to continue to be patient with his passing game. He has hit Derek Armstrong deep a couple of times, but on a short yardage play, which really was an attempt to fool Hamilton and basically did. But right now, he's forced to be patient.
Good-looking numbers. Man who passed Kenny played on the all-time Bomber pass list last week, and he has Terrence Edwards into Hamilton territory down to the 45-yard line.
And that's exactly what he's going to get in this second down, because he's going to get Terrence Edwards, who is the deep crossing route in the zone. He's going to be in front of the DBs, who are deep in their secondary, and then in behind the linebackers. The linebackers were held by an under route from Milt Stegall.
Edwards missed a couple of games earlier, including the first meeting against the Tiger Cats because of a rib injury. He has 4 catches for 77 yards and has provided the Bombers with a first down at the Ticat 45. With Fred Reed in the backfield, and it's Reed the ball carrier. And he just gets back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard.
The guy we haven't talked much about in this game has been Cornelius Anthony, who moves in to help out on that tackle with Ray Marius. Really, this is a guy that they wanted to see at middle linebacker. And with respect to Zeke Moreno, they didn't want to have to bench a great leader like Zeke Moreno and a great player who's leading the league in tackles to get Cornelius Anthony in there. But they do like him. They think he's got the speed to be able to run down plays from sideline to sideline.
Got a new linebacker, Cameron Siskowik, also in that defense. Second and long. And Glenn throws, and that's busted up. Jeff Tisdale. Good break on the football, and he knocked it away from Romney Bryant.
And I think Romney Bryant might have just helped to knock that one down as well, because Jeff Tisdale, who had 2 interceptions you mentioned in the first half, one of them was very similar to that last week for a touchdown where he jumped a route. He's very athletic in that secondary, started 2 games on the corner for Hamilton, but I think he's a great halfback. He's showing in 2 games that he can make the big play.
So the Bombers' first possession of this third quarter stalls. And Cerna on to punt with JoJo Walker back. Cerna again angling for the sidelines, and at the 15, Walker picks it up, and he's tossed down by Jason Nugent. 31-yard kick. Quentin Porter upcoming for the Ticats. 16,425 rushing yards. One of the newest inductees, Mike Pringle, is with Sarah Orlesky.
Thanks so much, Chris. Mike, you've said that you never expected to be in the Hall of Fame when you were growing up of any kind, but how surreal is this experience for you? Have you been able to kind of take it all in and soak it in?
Well, I'm taking it all in right now. Obviously, this is not something that you shoot for. This is not a goal that that you're courageous enough to set for yourself. This is just something that happens, and along the way I had some great years because I was surrounded by a lot of great players and was fortunate enough to be consistent enough to get me to this point. To be in the Hall of Fame, that still sounds so good to me. Mike Pringle, Hall of Famer, and I just love the game. I love playing the football. I was very passionate about it, and to just be here with family and friends, it's a great time right now.
You told me that the Grey Cups, although it may be a little cliched, that the Grey Cups were the most memorable for you, but you said 2003 as well. Can you just expand on why that one stands out?
Yeah, put me on the spot here. Well, it was towards the tail end of my career, and I was able to go back to Edmonton and win a championship on a team that I started with. Edmonton was my first team, and to be able to go back and win a Grey Cup with Edmonton, and then against my former team, Montreal, was great. A great experience.
Thanks so much for this. Congratulations.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's great to be a fan on a night like that. So many people talking about how fearsome he was as a running back. You didn't like buckling up against him, did you?
No. Well, who did? I mean, he brought it. He ran over you.
Porter at the controls looking for Rempel. You know, some of the best battles were right here in this stadium. Rob Hitchcock and Mike Pringle went helmet to helmet on more than a few occasions.
Well, one of the most intense players I've ever gone against, and I know trying to tackle Mike Pringle is like trying to bring down a truck. And I remember one game in Taylor Field when he was in Baltimore with Don Matthews, and we had a chance. We had just scored in that game to get it to within a couple of points. They got the ball in their own 10 and proceeded to hand it to Mike Pringle about 13 times in a row. He drove the length of the field to our 1-yard line and kneeled down for the final play of the game.
Quentin Porter's got things going. Terry Colley up the sidelines. There is a penalty marker on the field.
And just to wrap up that thought about that, I remember Mike Pringle in the huddle. We would come in the huddle, and Mike Pringle, we went in the huddle and said, guys, 27 is getting the ball. And Bobby Jursa said, I know. We have 12 guys trying to tackle him, and we can't bring him down. And he went right down to the 1-yard line and ended the game.
His after yards were gained to go back 10 yards from where the ball was, and it's first down.
So appreciate Rodriguez called on the hold after the first down, and there are a few Baltimore Stallion fans here saluting the former Baltimore Stallion Mike Pringle.
There's a penalty at the end of this play, and maybe Terry Colley is inspired after watching Mike Pringle.
First down at the Ticat 39 with the newcomer Quentin Porter at the wheel, and he has a completion over the middle. And appreciate Rodriguez has a first down catch at midfield. And maybe this is what Marcel Belfait was thinking about.
You know, I like how he stepped in. Quentin Porter stepped into the throw, and what he does is he gave Appreciate Rodriguez a chance to protect himself coming across the middle. First of all, he looks to the outside to try and freeze the defenders or make them widen, and then he knows by looking that way he's opening up the inside and in the middle. Pretty good throw there.
Play action fake, and there's Woodcock with a catch, jolted by Javon Johnson out at the 45, but that's close to another Ticat first down.
Quentin Porter was a 60% passer when he was at Boston College and played there for 4 years. He, in 2006, signed with the Texans in the National Football League, was actually on the active roster for the final 5 games of that season. And then last year played in the last year of NFL Europe.
Not every coach subscribes to the theory that you don't lose your job because of injury. He got hurt, replaced by Matt Ryan at Boston College, and never got his job back. Ryan, the #3 pick overall in the NFL draft. But 17 starts for Quentin Porter at Boston College.
Well, and at 6'5", you know, he's one of those quarterbacks that is a typical pocket passer with the long arm, and a guy who can make all those throws. And we've seen a couple of examples of it already. That in route to Appreciate Rodriguez was a nice low hard throw over the middle in traffic. Then he put one over the top to the sideline. That's about a 40-yard throw to get it to Pat Woodcock. So he's shown a couple of the throws that he's capable of already.
Hoping to hear from Doug Flutie later, and I know he'll have a detailed scouting report on Quentin Porter. 2nd and 5. Stands in. He's got Rodriguez open. And he's got it inside the 10-yard line on the money. Ball popped loose after the whistle. The officials conferring.
And there's the deep ball throw. So just like that in his first series, he comes in and shows you a little bit of everything. And that deep ball throw, there's the catch. And does it come out, or does the ground make it come out? And I think it looked like when he hit the ground, Rodriguez, the ball came out then, and they just left it there. And I believe the whistle did blow when he hit the ground.
Ian Logan the tackle, but it is a 33-yard gain, and a challenge flag has been tossed at the Bomber bench. How many steps?
I think he had possession of that football, and it was when he hit the ground that the ball was left there.
In fact, Logan's arm glances off the ball, and he actually seems to corral it even tighter before he hits the turf, and then the ball pops loose. But Doug Barry hasn't issued a challenge yet tonight, so the first one's free. Why not?
Winnipeg is challenging the ruling of a catch on the field. I'll review it.
Yeah, why not challenge this for sure? I mean, if it's close and you have the free one, you should use it now, and that's what Doug Barry will do. I thought he had possession, though, because he catches it. Now the football move is to put it under his arm, look up the field, take a step or two. He's being tackled and brought down, and it comes out when he hits the ground. And
in fact, the knee is down right there.
right there. That looks like a catch to me. And the other interpretation, and I'm just reminded by our producer John Hines, that the officials this year we've had the conversation with them and with Tom Higgins, the head of officiating, about when the ball is actually loose after a catch, when it would be constituted as a fumble, because it has to actually leave your possession, leave your body, be outside of it. If it's moving around in your arms, you haven't lost possession yet. So as
you can read his lips, he said that's not a fumble.
Yeah, so as he was going down there, Appreciate Rodriguez goes, you know, he had it and it might have been turning a little in his hands, but then his knee touched. He was contacted already, so that would constitute down by contact as soon as his knee touched the ground.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. It was a catch.
Well, there's one person in the stadium that disagrees. Well, Appreciate Rodriguez. One fumble this year was inside the 10 against Winnipeg. It was costly. A couple of fumbles by Hamilton really were their undoing in the 37-24 loss to the Bombers. But right now, it's a Rodriguez catch and a first and goal. Terry Colley, the ball carrier, right side, touchdown. Ticats get back in it on a 7-yard touchdown run by Terry Colley.
Well, this is a play that is designed for Casey Printers at quarterback. There's Terry Colley right there. It's that read search play where they like to put it in his belly and then maybe pull it. So obviously Quentin Porter can run that play. Also, big block down the field by Peter Diakowski to open up a hole for Terry Colley.
7th touchdown of the year, 6th on the ground for TC. A 7-play, 91-yard Ticat drive engineered by the newcomer, Quentin Porter. And it gets interesting here at Ivor Wynne, a 4-point Bomber lead.